So we'll go back. I'm just going to show you another little thing that you can do. Let me just make this fit again. So it's going to be a bit squishy. Another thing you can do with Premiere, which is pretty cool. So you actually have keyframing in here as well, like the keyframing you had in Flash. Okay. So here's my little. Let's just play my little clip down here. There's my little clip. All right, it's just my normal video clip playing here. And if you're up here in your effect controls, you've got this video effects panel, okay? And how this works, if you look at this little clock, this means toggle animation. So it's pretty basic, but it does the job really well. So if I actually turn on, let's say, scale, and I click that on, you'll see it's made a little keyframe there. Now, if I scrub forward to here, for instance, and bring that scale down of that video, you can do it with the controls on the side here. You can do it manually too. Doesn't really matter. It makes another frame. So now it's automatically going to play back. It's playing the video as it normally would, and you can see here now it's starting to scale down. So it does that tweening for you automatically. You don't have to worry about that, and you can see it scaling down. Or you can do lots of other stuff too. So you basically have to turn it on and off depending on what you want. So if we do something like rotation, if I animate rotation from, say, this point here, so you pick where you want the rotation to start, click your animate, it makes your keyframe, go to where you want it to change, where you want it to end up, let's say, I don't know, here, and then again you can rotate it, and we play that back, it's now doing both of those things. So it's rotating your clip, and it's scaling it. And same with, position. So who was it that they said they wanted to have the video come off screen and then come back on? Liam. Clearly, because he's not here. So you can do the same deal as well. So you pick a keyframe, you put your scale on, and then, position. So I'll put it on there, and then over here, I'm going to make this actually fly off. If I had a bit more space, I could move it all the way. And you can see the control bar there. Play that back. And then when we play that, it's going to be scaling down. You can see it working here. It's scaling down. It's starting to move. And then when we kick into our rotation there, it'll start to rotate. And you can do that with all your frames. All your clips here as well. So you can start doing, fancy... Oops, go back into my effect controls. You can start doing fancy stuff like you can have your video clips kind of spin off the screen, or you might have something, say, because you can make that, I don't know, I'm thinking of Morgan's. He might have some footage of a cyclist cycling, okay, and he might want to get some other footage. He could then overlay his footage on the wheel of that bike spinning around, put a mask so it's in a circle around there, and then use these controls so that video is spinning around while on the bike of the tyre, and then that can then spin out and become your main footage. I mean, it's pretty corny, but... I
thought you were just going to have like interviews and the spinning.
Yeah, like some other footage, or, these can fly off screen or all that kind of stuff. And all those controls work with any layer. So if I put that icon in, if I go back like before and I find something, what I want. All right, find an icon. And I drop that in. Excuse me. I drop my icon into here. This is what you'll use it mostly for. Cool. And I add that as a layer here. So I've got my icon sitting there. I'll just lengthen that out. Excellent. So you can do the same thing. You've got your controls, and you can start to animate this and change the way these work. So I might have this start here, okay, and then I start to animate these. So I'm going to animate scale, move this across, and it's now, that big. So it'll scale up. Oops. Put my position, animate my position so it's there, and then I'm going to make it over here. And so, you can do that with your icons as well. You can do your scale, you can do your rotation. play with all this kind of stuff. And that'll play back as well as your footage. Anything you put over there can spin around. So you can use that for your effects too.
So with the rotate, can you say like I want it to rotate 720 and have a do circles?
Let's find out. It may or it may get to a point where it stops. Let's have a look. All right, so we'll kill rotation. Let's get rid of. If you tick any of these boxes anywhere, it kills all the frames. So that's a good question. Let's see if it actually is smart enough to know it's doing a complete rotation. So we'll start it there. We'll put rotation on, and we'll move forward a little bit, and we'll say, we'll do it here. Let's go. Yeah, it does. It counts it. That's pretty cool. And then if we play that back, it's going to count up. That's cool. It's pretty clever, actually. And off you go. So all these are happening in real time too, so it's pretty quick. Premiere's pretty fast to do this. And then off you go.
Flash.
Sorry? Yeah, you could actually do a whole Flash animation in this. Pretty basically with this keyframe. But there's not a great deal of control here though. You can move them to speed it up, but that's about it. You know, and you can finite the control down here, but again, it's really just to have things kind of come in screen and come off screen or spin around. Those controls as well, you can do for other stuff like opacity. So you can animate the opacity of stuff. So if we get into here, so pretty much everything in here you can animate. We can bring that, put a keyframe here, and then move that forward a bit, and then bring that opacity down. This is probably one you use a lot, I reckon. And now when that animates, it's going to fade away. So it kind of gives it that appearance of it. You know, if I did that, see how it's kind of fading. If I do that effect of it fading and layer that in with, say, a scale effect, so it disappears here. So if I turn scale on, and then at that point bring that scale down, those two effects together are going to make it look like that image is getting further away, because it's going to scale out and then slowly kind of disappear, and that will kind of blend in with whatever you've got behind it. So you've got that kind of fading into nothing effect. So pretty simple stuff with just using these keyframes here. So yeah, so anything, whenever you see a clock next to any of your video controls and your effects controls, that's your animation. Same with speed. Looks like we can animate the speed, so it can just one bit of the clip will speed up at a certain point and then it'll slow down. As opposed to changing the clip itself. You can do that in the clip and you can cut it and speed it up and cut it and slow it down. But if you use it this way with the keyframes, you don't affect the original video, which is, again, it's pretty cool. So there you go. It's another kind of things you can start. So if you start thinking about these kind of effects now, hopefully it'll help you when you do your filming, because you've got that in your mind. Well, if I film this, that'll look cool if it spins out here, or if it comes in, or you've got these clips coming in. And then all your clips here you can then combine with, you know, yeah, some stuff you've done in Photoshop. Maybe that's in a speech bubble or a memory cloud or a picture frame, and you'll link those two elements together and do the same effect, so that picture frame will rotate with it and animate with it and stuff like that. So